So you're going to take your test today or in a month from now. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. But I took my test today and I passed, and I decided to make a new and improved little course on how to pass and what to do. Now, you've probably seen the videos where people record this entire course. I recommend watching those. It's still very helpful. It helped me. Chris Lapaco's video, shout out to Chris, where he uses Google Earth and shows you how to pass and what to do and all that stuff. Very good information. Watch those videos like 30 times and practice over and over and over with cones until you're good. But I want to give some other things that the videos didn't really talk about. Some of the videos did, but this video is going to be special in some of the information. Because I don't work here, and I can say whatever I want. Free speech, brother. Now, before we get into this, I want to give you some geographical markers so you know what to expect. And again, watch the videos. They'll help you be able to understand all this. But this is a stop sign. This is a stop sign. There's a stop sign right here on this little fence. And there's a stop sign here. I think those are the only stop signs in this entire course. If I missed one, I'm very sorry, but you'll see it on the videos that you watch. You have a yield sign right here. You want to yield to oncoming traffic. I want to spend a little bit of time here on fail corner. Now, let's say, for example, we're going to talk more about this later, but you're turning into here, right? If you're in this lane and you turn into this one, you're cooked. You're going to fail. It's a wrong lane. You need to turn into the outer one. If you're in this one and you turn into this one, again, you're going to fail. You want to turn into this one, the inner lane on the right side. Now, if you make it there, and let's say, just for the sake of possibility, you're in this lane and you turn over this way, like I did. You turn here, and you're going down, and your examiner says, turn left. And you turn left on this lane, it's fail. That's why it's called fail corner, right? So if you're only going to be turning left. If you're going down this road over here, you're only going to be turning left. So if when your examiner says turn left, you're going to signal over, check your mirrors, go down, and turn left. And that's the quick things like that. But let's get into the real fun here. So you're on Cliff Road. You're probably going to go to Chipotle before or after. I didn't. But if you want to, you can. You're going to turn in here. If you don't have an appointment, you're going to go somewhere over here. I honestly don't know if that's even true. That's what Chris Lapaco said like 5-8 years ago, whenever that video was. You're going to turn in here somewhere. Listen, just make an appointment. It's much easier. And when you make an appointment and you come here, you're going to turn right. And you're going to go down. You're going to turn left. So right, left, and left again into this little section right here. Now, if you get driven there, like I did, there's going to be a little sign that says, go here for road testing. And it's going to point like upward or something like that. It's a green sign. Don't listen to that. Because you don't go up here to take your road test. You go this way, over here. Do what Chris Lapaco said. And you're going to go in here. Otherwise, you're going to be all lost and stuff. Now, if you do get lost, well, I mean, hey, that's practice, right? If you don't go over here, I'm not saying you can't go somewhere else. I recommend going here so you get immediately to your test. But if you happen to pass this on accident, maybe you can go up here, turn in the parking lot, go over here, check things out if you want. I recommend listening to the signs that says no practice driving. But I got lost, and I had to go in the parking lot, and I had to go over here, and I had to go all the way back here because I didn't listen to what Chris said. Listen to Chris. Watch that video. But you're going to go over here. Now, when you get over here, there's going to be a line of cars probably, and there's going to be a guy asking you to do left blinker, right blinker, brake twice, front and back. He's going to check the front, make sure your lights work. That's all it's going to be. It's fine. He's also going to tell you to go and park too. And then he's going to ask for your insurance. You can do it phone or paper, doesn't matter, and your permit. He's going to give you a little clip, paper clip, to clip a little note that he's going to give you that just has information on your appointment and all that stuff. Doesn't matter. And he's going to give you another slip on things that the examiner is going to ask you to do in terms of operating the inside of your vehicle, which is horn, how to adjust your seat, high beam, low beam, emergency lights, emergency brakes, stuff like that. It'll all be on that little sheet. So you're going to want to follow that and practice before your examiner gets in the car, so you'll know how to pass the first part of the test, which is fairly easy. After that guy that's there with the clipboard is done, you're just going to wait in line, and you're going to wait until you get up here. And there's going to be a guy in a box, or the building. I call it a box, but whatever. He's going to be in a little room with a window, kind of like going to a bank. He's going to ask for that little piece of paper and permit with the paper clip. You're going to hand it to him. He's going to fill some information out. It's going to take probably like 3 minutes or something like that. And he's going to hand you his paper and say, put it on the dashboard. That stack of paper is for the examiner. You won't really need to touch it. After that, you pull forward. Don't hit this cone. I saw someone hit it. Embarrassing, but you're going to want to pull up and go into the lane that he tells you to go into. Pull all the way up. Don't pull back here. Pull all the way up. And then you're just going to wait. And when the examiner starts walking in, your passenger, your guardian, grandma, uncle, whoever, is going to have to get out. Bye-bye. And then your examiner is going to hop in. I recommend being nice and saying how your day was or how it is going. And try to make a joke. I did twice, and I got my examiner to laugh, which made things so much better. So if you can do that, highly recommend. Then they're going to tell you to just go out of park and, or actually, examiners are going to tell you to do all the things on the little slip of honking and, emergency brake, emergency lights. After that, I'm going to tell you to go right or left. And then you're just going to start. Now, this video is not a course on all this jazz, right? That's Chris Lapaco's video that'll help you. But I want to give you some more tips here to really hammer things down. So, for example, let's say you turn here, you go, you might do your 90-degree back. So, practice your 90-degree back. Get some cones, 4 cones if possible. Cones with poles, that'll be even better. And cones with poles that are crooked will be even better, because the poles are crooked, and it kind of made things pretty bad for me. And when I had to do my little 90-degree back, I had to correct 3 times. So people ask, am I allowed to correct the parking? Yes, you are. So you can do that. I had to correct 3 times. Now, if you have to correct like 5 times and you make it in, just try to make it in as best as you can. As long as you don't hit the poles, freak out your examiner or anything like that, you'll be fine. Now, the question people ask is, can I use my backup camera? And I would say yes, but for a very small split second. You cannot be staring at that thing for like more than a second. You can quickly glance to make sure everything's all good, but you can't rely on it. You got to look behind you, look at your mirrors, and rely on that. But if you have a backup camera and you want to quickly glance, that's fine. I managed to do so. The examiner didn't tell me anything. The examiner is looking at you, but I don't know if this is the same for everyone, but my examiner didn't really look at me. It was more looking at the road and the little sheet. So depending on your examiner, you might be able to get away with some things, but I would not risk it. Just look, do things right. Don't rely on your backup camera. So that's my advice. Really quickly, every time you're parking, whether it is the parallel parking, the 90-degree back, or the downhill park, you must smog. Now, if you haven't learned what smog is, that's unfortunate, but I will teach you. Smog is signal, mirror, over shoulder, go. So, what is that? Every time you're going into a parking space, you signal before you're going in. And then every time you're going out, you signal out. You must get that every single time. Every time you're going into a parking space, you must look at your mirrors. I suggest doing a whole 360, moving your entire head so your examiner sees you. You look at your left mirror, your right mirror, the mirror inside, and then you also want to do over shoulder. You want to physically look over your shoulder and do that both times you're going inside a parking space and outside a parking space. You must do that. Over-exaggerate looking in your mirrors, over shoulder. You must signal every single time you turn. Look in your mirrors every single time you turn. If you want to look over your shoulder every single time you turn, I highly recommend that too. Some cases it's unnecessary because there's no one like next to you because there's not a lane, but I would do it. But you're going down and you're doing the examination, and you're gonna zip around here. Now, every lane, except for this lane, is 4 lanes wide. So, how many lanes is this? It's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you're coming down here or out of here, you're gonna just be in the middle of the road, kinda. And then you're going to want to signal here. This requires a signal. This is a turn. This is not a little roundabout thingy where you don't signal. This is a place you need a signal, and you want to go in here. You're probably going to do your not 90 degree back, your little downhill park. Figure out how to do parking and how to get as close as the curb as you can within 6 inches, within 12 inches. Make sure you turn the wheel all the way, or not all the way to the right, but to the right, kind of, halfway. Park, and then emergency brake. Now, that's like half the test already. The test is like 10 minutes long. You're going to zip around, probably do, if you didn't do your 90 degree back here, you're going to do your 90 degree back here. And if you're going to do that, make sure to practice. Then you might do your parallel parking here. Now, for anyone that looks at the videos or looks at the Google Maps, you're probably going to be asking something that I asked, which is, that looks really small. That looks like 10 feet. It's not. It's like 22 feet wide. Or not wide, 22 feet long. You're totally fine. I practiced with 18 feet, did totally fine. Now, if you have a truck or a Suburban, right, then it's going to be a little bit harder, but all these parking spaces are made for cars like trucks and huge Suburbans. If you have a little Honda Fit or something like that, oh man, you're golden. So try to get a small car if you can. It doesn't have to be your parents' car. My grandmother took me, and we went in my aunt's car. So if you can possibly get a family member to lend you their small vehicle, that'll be even better for you. That's what I recommend. But if not, well, practice with that vehicle that you're going to go in. Then you're going to zip around here. Now, here's my advice to you, or not advice, this is what you must do, otherwise you're going to fail. Let's say you're here and your examiner says turn right. A question people ask is like, do you stop when you're making a turn like this? Well, if there's not a stop sign and you're going to turn left or right, you do not stop. You slow down, you yield to oncoming traffic, and you go. Don't hesitate. And that's the answer. But anyways, what lane do you turn in? You turn into this lane, right over here. So leftmost lane into the leftmost lane. That's what it is 99% of the time, except for 2 places that I can count, or places like this. So there might be a couple places like this where, let's say you're driving this way, your examiner says turn right. You want to signal over, get into the rightmost lane. Now you might say, well, rightmost lane into the rightmost lane. No. You want to turn here. Because if you turn here into this lane, you're just going to hit the poles. So you want to turn into this one. And you see that on the video, so I'm sure you know that. If you don't, well, then you learn something. Check this out. This is a controlled intersection. This controlled intersection has lights. You want to obey those lights. Now, if there's a sign that says no turn on red, obey that. Don't turn on red. If there's not, you can. If there's a sign but it's not pointed towards you, then it's not for you and you can turn on red. I didn't see a no turn on red sign, but I didn't have a red light to turn on. So hopefully you just get a green light and then you won't have to worry about that. I got a green light, so thanks for that examine station. But if you don't, that's okay. Just know how to interact with a controlled intersection. Now there's also an uncontrolled intersection right here. Whoa, all the way down here. You're going to interact with this probably at least 2 times. Or maybe at least once. Yield to the cars going this way. So if you're here on this one way, you want to yield to cars here. If not, if there's no cars, then just turn into wherever. If you're here, if the examiner says turn right, you want to get into the rightmost lane and turn into there. Right there. Not into this one. You go this one because, again, this is like parking lane stuff. If you happen to, accidentally go in here and you go up like that, that's fine too. Nothing bad going to happen. Now, I mentioned that there's a couple places where you don't turn into the leftmost lane, and I guess, according to my examiner, I wasn't supposed to turn into this lane when I was right here. You'd think leftmost lane into the leftmost lane. Wrong. Apparently not. You want to go into this one. This one. Now, like I said, I went into this one. I was here and I went into this one, and my examiner said it was a minor error. Now, for your examiner, it might not be. It might be a major error that'll cost you your entire test and you'll fail. So just be careful. Now, I would double check to make sure that this is all correct. I'm just a new driver, but I am fairly certain you would be turning into this one. If you accidentally turn into this one, I think it's fine because, again, it's a one-way and both these go upward. But I would be careful and just go up like that. Now, this is where a lot of people get confused. They're like, okay, well, what if I'm over here and they tell me to go right? Do I just slant and go? Well, I did. I slanted over. You don't have to slant all the way over to here. You can just slant too. I've seen the videos. They all kind of go slanted. If you want to do one at a time and go slow, like 15 miles an hour, I think you could pull it off. But if you do slanted, as long as you signal mirrors, shoulder a couple times while you're going over and there's no cars, and you make it, and you do 2 successful, like kind of slanted, kind of, I guess, lane changes, then you should be totally fine. So if you're in an outer lane like this, you want to go into the outer lane. If you're in the inner lane, you want to go in the inner lane. Very simple stuff right there. And that's it. Just practice. Do your stuff. Parallel parking, 90-degree back, downhill, all that stuff. Learn how to turn onto the right lanes, how to interact with a one-way. And if you know how to do all that, again, it's only like a 10-minute test. You'll be fine. Now, the way you will probably end is you're going to turn here, go down. Maybe there's a red light. I had a red light this time, so I had to wait. And then you just park right here. And your little guardian is going to be waiting for you probably around here. And then your examiner is going to say either you passed or you failed. Hopefully you passed. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below. I think I covered what I was at least wondering. And people also talk about the speed limit of going too slow, going too fast. Just go like 20, 25 miles an hour. You'll be good. I think there's like a 30 mile per hour sign. you want to go 20 or 25, 30, it's okay. Just don't go like 10 miles an hour. There's one video where the examiner was yelling at the guy telling him to go. You probably saw that. It was over here. So just, go a decent speed. Hopefully you get a nice examiner. Again, practice, practice, practice. Turn in here, go this way, that way, and start. That's it. If you do pass, please let me know in the comments. Leave a like, comment. You don't have to subscribe, but we do want more people to see this. We're Minnesota folk. We want to help people. That's why I'm making this video. And so hopefully this was helpful for you. Now, if you watch all the YouTube videos of the courses and, everything else, Chris Lapaco's video, which I will link all down in the description below so you can go find them quickly. If you watch all those and you're still really confused, and you watch mine and you're still really confused, and you want just like a whole video, like a 45-minute video going through the entire course and like every possibility and all that stuff, I'd be more than willing to do it. You just let me know in the comments, ask questions, all that stuff. I'm totally happy to do that. So just let me know. Hopefully this was a helpful video, and I hope you have a good day, and you better pass.